Hi everyone, I'm going to be reading the bedtime story tonight, and as many of you probably already know, I am guinea pig daft and have brought along my 3 guinea pigs with me tonight. So we've got Messy, Coco and Cookie joining us tonight for our bedtime story, and I've chosen to read Sammy the Classroom Guinea Pig by Alex Berenzi. Let's get started. Sammy had his own little house. Inside was a soft blue sock. He liked to take naps on it. The sock had a hole in it, but Sammy didn't mind. The house had 2 doors, one to run in and one to run out. Sometimes he ran in the outdoor and out the indoor, and sometimes he slept on the roof. Sammy felt safe knowing that he had a place to hide. Sammy had a big cage to scamper about in. His food bowl was always filled with fresh guinea pig pellets, and he had hay to chew on, water to drink, and Sammy really liked his home. Sammy couldn't read a clock, but he always knew when Miss B, the teacher, would arrive. Every morning she brought him a treat, but today she was late. "Wait, wait, wait," Sammy squeaked in greeting when she finally appeared in the doorway. Yes, I hear you, Sammy," said Miss B. She was thinking of all the things she still had to do. She hurriedly offered him a piece of carrot. Sammy stood up on his hind legs. It's a difficult trick for a guinea pig, just so he could reach the carrot. Guinea pigs have really individual tastes. Sammy liked many different kinds of fruits and vegetables, and Miss B's class had learned that Sammy's favourite treat of all was melon. Like most guinea pigs, he loved freshly cut grass. In warm weather, the children would bring him a great bunch, sometimes with dandelions. They were careful, though, not to bring him grass from the roadside, where it could be polluted by cars or other animals, or from a lawn that was treated with chemicals. Sammy heard voices, and it was the voices of the children in the hall. They burst into the classroom, all talking really loudly. "Wait, wait, wait," cried Sammy happily, adding to the noise. "Everybody settle down," cried Miss B. Soon all the students were sitting in their seats and watching Miss B write on the blackboard. Sammy watched too. But as the lesson began, Sammy felt something bothering him. It bothered him more and more and more. At last he could contain it no longer, and he shrieked at the top of his lungs. Miss B and her students gathered round the cage, and Sammy stopped scurrying and let the teacher pick him up. She lifted him with 2 hands, careful to support his heavy hind quarters. Sammy found himself nose to nose with the teacher. "What is the matter?" she demanded. "Weep!" Sammy screeched. Everyone loved Sammy and they were really worried. "Is he sick?" asked Robbie. "When guinea pigs don't feel well, they usually sit quietly with their fur puffed up," Miss B explained. "His appetite's good. There's no wetness round his eyes or his nose, which would tell us if he was sick. He looks fine to me," she said, mystified. "Maybe he's afraid of something," asked Eric. If Sammy were frightened, his instincts would tell him to run into his house and be very quiet. "So I don't think he's afraid," the teacher reasoned. "I've taught you to talk softly and be gentle when you play with him. That way he won't be afraid of us. He'll think of us as his friends." "Maybe something's hurting him," Miss B said. Lisa, she was quite worried. "Well, let's take a look," responded the teacher. Sammy felt himself being lowered onto a table, and Miss B lifted up each of his little ears and looked into them. He felt her fingers parting his fur to reveal his skin. He wished that she would scratch him under the chin instead. He really liked that. "Do you see any red marks or bald spots?" she asked the class. That would tell us if Sammy had a skin problem. Now, that could make him upset. But Sammy's skin looked perfectly healthy. Because we keep his cage nice and clean, it's unlikely that he would have that problem. "I can't imagine why he was screaming so much," the teacher confessed. Sammy decided that he didn't like them looking through his fur anymore, and he began to make really unhappy noises, small, irritated squeaks and squeals. "Will he bite?" one girl asked. "Most guinea pigs don't bite," replied Miss B. "They bite only if they're really, really frightened." She let Sammy go, and she immediately stopped complaining. He began to waddle along the tabletop, sniffing the surface. Sammy chuckled as he went. That's his exploring sound, said Miss B. Sammy was enjoying himself. He really liked to explore new things. Sammy made his way to Maria and touched her nose with his. That's how guinea pigs recognise and greet each other, explained Miss B. Sammy began to burble in soft musical tones. That means he's happy, she said. Sammy was glad when Maria picked him up and cuddled him. Her jumper was soft and warm, and Miss B, I think I know what's wrong with him, Maria said. I think because today is Monday. What? Everyone explained. Sammy was alone all weekend, Maria explained. I think he's glad to see us. He wants our attention, that's all. Miss B studied the little guinea pig. Sammy, she said, is this true? Is that what's wrong? Maria set Sammy down